Money is power. We don't know that. But right now, there's a new kind of money, backed by a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's making a serious bid to remake our entire economy. It's a radical vision for sure, but it's one that could have massive consequences for all of us, even if you've never owned a single digital coin.
You can just feel the energy at one of America's biggest crypto conferences. It is absolutely electric. That whole FTX collapse from a few years ago might as well be ancient history here. In this room, the only way is up. The belief isn't just that they're on the right side of history, it's that they are witnessing the birth of the greatest financial revolution mankind has ever seen. And that belief, it's completely fused with this raw anti-establishment anger. It's this feeling that the whole system is rigged, that it's broken, and that crypto and, its political allies are the only things that can fix it. This isn't just about tech anymore. It is a full-blown culture war.
So let's cut through all the hype, all the revolutionary talk. What's the actual endgame here? This industry spent over $100 million to influence the last election, and now they've got the president's ear. So the big question is, what exactly are they asking for? To figure that out, you really have to be in the room where it's all happening. So welcome to WAGMI Miami. And WAGMI, by the way, that stands for We're All Gonna Make It. It's basically a giant gathering of the faithful, a place where the true believers and, let's be honest, the opportunists all come together.
I mean, it is a wild scene. On one hand, you have people who genuinely believe they are saving humanity from a corrupt financial system. And then, standing right next to them, you've got yacht brokers, tax lawyers from the Cayman Islands, and real estate agents pushing multi-million-dollar condos. It is the perfect collision of ideology and pure high-stakes capitalism. And all of this whole universe, is built on a pretty simple idea, the blockchain. Just think of it like a shared public rulebook. Instead of needing a bank or some other middleman to approve a transaction, the blockchain lets people deal directly with each other. The rules aren't set by some institution, they're enforced by math and code.
You know, our traditional system is all about centralized trust. You trust your bank trusts other banks, and so on. Crypto's big promise is to throw all that out and replace it with decentralized verification. The idea is to cut out all those middlemen who are taking a slice and setting the rules. And this leads to an incredibly powerful, almost utopian sales pitch, right? The idea that this technology could finally make finance fair for everyone. But, and this is a huge but, there is a massive gap between that original pure vision and what the industry actually looks like today.
You hear this kind of thing everywhere in the crypto world. It's very populist language, framing Bitcoin as this tool for freedom, for privacy, a way to escape a corrupt system. And you know, for a lot of the early adopters, especially those who watched the big banks get bailed out in 2008, that belief is totally sincere.
But right alongside those true believers, a gigantic speculative industry has popped up. And it looks, frankly, a lot like the old system it was supposed to replace. It's dominated by big exchanges, venture capitalists, and a lot of people just trying to get rich quick. And maybe the best example of this is the wild story of Trump coin. So after Donald Trump promoted the coin, trading just exploded. We're talking $60 billion in 48 hours. The price shot up to $75 a coin. But just as fast as it went up, it came crashing right back down, completely wiping out billions of dollars in value.
So who won and who lost in all that chaos? Well, get this. A tiny group, just 31 early traders, walked away with more than $669 million in profit. Meanwhile, the 800,000 regular people who bought into the hype, they collectively lost $2 billion. For years, this kind of wild, unregulated speculation had a major roadblock in Washington. So the industry came up with a new strategy. If you can't change the rules, well, maybe you can spend enough money to change the people who make the rules. And that roadblock had a name, SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Now, the funny thing is, Gensler actually taught one of the very first courses on blockchain at MIT, but as a regulator, his take was pretty simple. Most of these crypto assets are just investments, like stocks, and they need to follow the same rules. You know, rules about transparency and audited financials. The industry claimed he was being unclear. His defenders say, oh no, he was perfectly clear, they just didn't like what he was saying. So the industry went on the attack.
In the 2024 election cycle, these crypto-focused super PACs raised an absolutely staggering $200 million. And they spent about $130 million of that trying to influence key races all over the country.
And where did all this cash come from? Well, surprise, surprise, the biggest checks were written by the very companies the SEC was investigating. We're talking Coinbase, Ripple, and the venture capital giant Andreessen Horowitz. They all poured in tens of millions of dollars to elect politicians who would be a little more friendly to their cause.
And you know what? That spending paid off. With new allies in the White House and in key positions across the government, the industry's ultimate goal is finally within reach: to completely rewrite the rules that govern American finance.
For a while now, they've been laser-focused on passing a bill called FIT21, and its main job is pretty simple: take power away from the SEC when it comes to crypto and hand it over to a completely different agency.
And that other agency is the CFTC. So why the switch? Well, it's pretty clear when you look at them side by side. The SEC is big, it's well-funded, and its entire mission is protecting investors. The CFTC, on the other hand, is way smaller, it's underfunded, and it's known for having a much lighter touch. It's actually the same agency that missed a whole lot of red flags before the 2008 financial crisis.
But some experts, like law professor Hillary Allen, are warning that this is basically a Trojan horse. The fear is that these new laws will create this special exception that says, hey, if something is on a blockchain, it's not a security. And that could create this massive legal loophole, allowing all kinds of traditional finance products to just jump onto a blockchain to escape decades of laws designed to protect regular people.
Okay, so this isn't just some technical debate for policy nerds in DC anymore. The crypto world, which used to be on the fringes, is now integrating with the mainstream economy at lightning speed, and it's bringing all of its volatility and lack of rules with it.
Think back to 2022, when the crypto market crashed. Most of us didn't really feel it because the two systems were still pretty separate. But that wall is coming down fast. If another one of those crypto busts happens after these systems are all tangled up together, we could be looking at another global financial crisis. And according to Hillary Allen, this time could be even worse. She said that as complex as all that stuff was in 2008, it was all ultimately tied to something real: a mortgage on a house. With crypto, you can build these towering castles of financial speculation on literally nothing at all. The people driving this train are building a new financial future at an incredible speed. But it leaves all of us with a critical and honestly pretty terrifying question. In this mad rush to innovate, are we building a system that's so complex and so interconnected that when it inevitably starts to break, no one will be able to stop it?